Welcome to the Microsoft Tips Showcase, where we provide quick, single-topic videos on how to do something within a Microsoft 365 related tool, such as SharePoint, Dynamics, Office, etc. These tips are brought to you by SV MacPack, a certified veteran-owned and HubZone consulting firm supporting primarily the U.S. federal government. In support of our customers' need to maximize the value of the tools they currently invest in, we started creating these video tips. We hope each one of these videos helps you as well. This video is a part of a series of videos introducing you to Microsoft 365 as if this is the first time you're seeing any of it. We'll move quickly to keep the video short. Let's go ahead and get started now. We're going to talk about account settings and profile. This is a pretty fun one for me. It's where you get to add in your picture, etc. So you'll remember from our home page right here, if you come on over to this right-hand side of the sweep bar and click on your name, you'll see the options for you to be able to edit certain stuff. So I'm going to go into My Profile. And when you click on it, it brings up a Delve version of My Profile. Most people who are familiar with LinkedIn, you'll see this as something that's just really similar. It's got a lot of entries that you can put in here and are really helpful. So one of the things that I just did, for example, you can change your photo just by clicking here, upload a new photo. It says looking blurry, and that's just because I have my camera blocked, but you can click here to upload a photo you actually have, or if you unblock your camera, you can begin to see that. That's pretty handy. Coming on down, we'll get to update the profile in a second because that's kind of cool information. But as you come down, you start seeing where you're blocked, see what's going on. This is the part I mentioned about LinkedIn, for example. If you add certain skills, I can add a skill here, for example, let's call it SharePoint. And we'll just say add the skill. So now I've got it in there. You can also ask me about, obviously, Microsoft 365. You begin to add these topics. Think about your own organization. If you're a small business specialist or contracting officer, if you're logistics, you begin to put in some of that key buzzword. And not only the people who are very close to you will begin to hear about it, but anybody within your organization who's looking for somebody who can help them with that. So this thing took me here to update my profile. I want to come back for a second. That was when you clicked here to add a skill, and it's got a skill there. It's the same as if I clicked on update the profile. It takes me in here so I can begin to add anything I want to put in. And each one of these just go down farther on the page. But basic things that you can put in here. It tends not to do years because years are off, or PII, personal information. It's too much information. But I have no problem with you knowing when my birthday is, because then I can have you wish me a happy birthday. Same thing with adding some of your contact information in there. Some organizations might limit it. That's why they provide that. Here's a great thing that talks about, I'm a video trainer, but clearly not a typist. I'm a video trainer. Wow, that was hard. Contact me. You can put this message out there, and the reason I'm kind of showing you this, I highly encourage you to fill this stuff in. It's your profile information. Your profile information is how you and your colleagues begin to get to know each other. These are not strangers. These are the people you see in the hall, that you see in meeting rooms, etc. The more they begin to learn about your specialty, the better it is. This one's really handy. Here's some of the projects I work on. For example, I might put in that we do an MS Tip showcase, which is what this is, right? And I can just say add the project, and it begins to put that information in there. People learn more about it. Same thing coming down. I'm not going to fill all of it, but all of this is really helpful in an organization as you move forward. I'm going to come back to this page again. So that was the profile. I'll just touch on this briefly, and I'll come back later, but this part you see on the right-hand side is the delve or the discovery part of what's out there. This is awesome. I mean, this is where it's pulling a lot of information back in so that people can learn about you, you can learn about them. And one thing to keep in mind, the privacy and security settings that you establish are locked. That means, for example, right here, you only see documents you have access to, and equally, no one else will have access to any of your files or documents that aren't already approved for them to be able to have access to, that you've shared with them. One other thing that's pretty cool, you can change your cover photo because this is your world. So unlike the sweep bar, if you paid attention to the early activity I was doing, up here you can sit there and change, like I'm from San Francisco originally, so let's click that. So that's a nice little bridge out there that you can see. you can begin to make this a personalized environment for you. I'm going to go back here to Office 365, the landing page, just so you see again, we're in those user account and profile settings. You have the ability to sign out, let somebody else do that. If you click on My Account, you'll begin to be able to manage your activities. So I showed you this a little earlier, that if you click on subscription, you can start seeing the details. This set of tiles are basically just coming down here. Same thing with editing your settings. This was where you saw it earlier on user settings. You could do this all from within one environment for your account. Come on in here, make it your own, set it up so that it all is personalized to you. The more personalized your experience is, and the more you take time to configure it or to customize it in the ways that your organization and Microsoft allow you, the more you'll be encouraged to come back to this tool and use it more and more. Hope that's helpful to you. This concludes this lesson. I hope you found this tip useful as you continue to use Microsoft 365 related products in support of your day-to-day job. Please provide me with feedback in the comments, letting me know how I can make these tips more relevant and useful to you, including suggesting tips you think we should create. Finally, if you found this review helpful, please share it with others on one of the social media platforms or just give it a thumbs up. I'm your host, Neil McDonald with SV MacPack. I thank you for joining me today and hope you'll join me again for other tips.